Today is another Saint's Day, although it's not one that is celebrated as broadly as St. Patrick. It's still a pretty important Saint's Day. It is St. Joseph's Day, the patron saint of Italy, and arguably one of the most important figures in the church. Now, we only hear about Joseph in Jesus's early life. He's the man who willingly follows God's call to protect his betrothed, Mary, and the child that she faithfully brought into our world. Now, we do hold Mary in such a beloved place, and as a result, her husband is oftentimes just overlooked. But when we really consider his situation, his sacrifices he made for his wife and the child, there is a great deal about him to admire. From all of the Gospels, Matthew is the one that gives us the most about Joseph from his perspective. Now, the author of Matthew is clear that Mary was not the only one who was called. She made a very difficult choice and will always be beloved as a result. But Joseph also made a really hard choice, and he could have quite easily stepped away from the whole situation. The same angel appeared to him, and as always, the first thing out of the angel's mouth was, "Don't be afraid." Now, we can imagine, if we really stretch our imaginations, how odd and difficult this was for him, and yet his faith led him to stay by Mary's side, to raise Jesus along with his mother, to protect them during the flight to Egypt. And why is he the patron saint of Italy? Well, because in Sicily, they were experiencing a series of devastating droughts. And the residents of many of the towns in Sicily began to pray to St. Joseph for rain. And the rains did come. And they saved the crops on which those towns and those people were so dependent. So this is why he's honored on the date of March 19th, and why, along with all the other things we know about him, we should all take a few moments to remember Joseph for his faithful devotion to Mary and to Jesus. By the Creator, Joseph was appointed spouse of the Virgin, guardian of the Incarnate. He, by his care, administered to Jesus source of salvation. Christ, in whose presence hosts of hell must tremble, ruler of all things, Lord of earth and heaven, monarchs of monarchs. To his early earthly father, he freely was subjected. To God eternal be all praise and glory. Who to Saint Joseph gave supernal honor. Grant that we may also, like him, be faithful in our obedience. So while we're thinking about Saint Joseph today, let's take a few moments and ponder some questions. Take a minute or two to think about what it must have been like for Joseph. Have you ever contemplated that before? Give yourselves a little time to imagine how hard it would have been for him to make the decisions that he made. The second question is leaning into the reality that Joseph's call was for him to believe and to support someone he loved. Have you ever found yourself in that type of situation where you needed to just rely on your faith in order to do the best that you could for the ones you love? And thirdly, many elements of Christianity consider praying to the saints as part of their practice. Has this been true for you in your spiritual practice? And if it is this something that you still engage in fairly regularly? And so thank you again for joining me today. And I hope to see you back again tomorrow. And until then, please take care and God bless.